Hey everyone, I'm Robbie Cornthwaite.
I'm Daniel Mullen.
I'm Angelo Costanzo.
I'm Marco Flores.
I'm Marcelo Carusca.
I'm Ian Fife.
This is Casio, and you're watching.
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 And you are watching
Pure Bred Reds, Adelaide United Fan TV.
Hi, I'm Daniel Mullen, former Adelaide United player and Asian Champions League winner with Western Sydney Wanderers. When it comes to any of my soccer needs, I do my shopping here at Soccer Locker. An Australian-owned and operated business, the store is located at Shop 5 of 181 to 183 Grange Road, Findon. Founded in 2017, Soccer Locker was introduced into the market to fulfil all the soccer-related needs of Australians, providing a huge range of quality clothing and equipment ranging from soccer balls, team kits, goalkeeper gear, accessories and much more. Recently arrived stock also includes stunning retro kits from some of our favourite past eras as fans of the world game. Soccer Locker is a specialist in premier range boots, Adidas and Puma, goalkeeper gear and licensed merchandise. Visit us online at www.soccerlocker.com.au with free delivery Australia-wide. So get shopping now at our Findon store, open from 10 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. from Monday to Friday and open Saturdays from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m.
G'day guys and welcome to Pure Bred Reds Adelaide United Fan TV here at our fabulous sponsor Soccer Locker. We're here to preview the game against Western United today, but before we get to that, just want to quickly chat with Costa here from Soccer Locker, who we absolutely love. Costa Zacharopoulos, how you doing?
Fantastic, mate. Thanks for being here, brother.
Good to be with you again now. We've just caught a very rare break in the day where you don't have a million customers all hassling you for a bit of advice and a photo maybe. But here we've got you for a few minutes, so let's just discuss a few things. Before we get into the A-League discussion, the amount of Adelaide United stock going here right now, and these are good quality products, Costa. This is not your cheap factory-made stuff. No. We've got... and this is just some of it, mind you guys, and all discounted right now. Some beautiful hoodies. The rain jacket wear is very sharp looking, Costa. And you've got plenty of your sort of more generic t-shirts. It's all selling here.
Polos.
All for very good value, very good prices, and they do you well here at Soccer Locker. There's no question about that. Just looking at the shorts too. Plenty going on here, but also we can't not pump up the enemy, unfortunately, Costa. We've got some Western United gear in here too, so that'll be interesting to see. I mean, we usually get a few Western United fans actually coming to these games in the Adelaide return leg, so it'll be interesting to see how many we get tomorrow. But forget all this, there's actually that much here, Costa. European, the Rangers, it's just phenomenal. It's like nowhere else. You are the only retailer the only football retailer in the state for good reason.
Yes, sir. Mate, I think it's such a hype with World Cup starting as well. World Cup, official match balls. It's here. Training. There's so much available, guys. Get down. We've got plenty of numbers at the moment. They sell quick, so make sure you get down and come and see us. We've got all the World Cup apparel on the way too, which is exciting. You know, the Premier League stuff. We're getting to the end of the Premier League, so the new range will be here pretty soon too. So it's
only a matter of weeks away.
Oh, it's all happening. Get down, guys.
And you know what I want to say? What makes me most proud about this place? I go to the multinationals here and there. I'll just stumble into one of them. They're dying out when it comes to football gear that they're actually bothered to put out and display. It's few and far between. I can't even recall where I can go other than Soccer Locker these days, and this is completely sincere. All your multinational brands, they're all switching off from being a retailer that really provides supply for the world game. And it's all down to one small business here in the state that basically you walk in here, it's called Soccer Locker, and it literally is just a paradise, a kingdom.
It is
full of football.
I have no money because I spend it all here. It's just, it's one of those. Look, I've been lucky enough to come on board and be a part of this amazing business. We're very lucky. We've got such a good community following as well. Being local, we get everyone in for their soccer gear here. So. If there's anything you need, boots, equipment, coaches, clubs, come and see us. We will be a pleasure to look after you. So,
and just on the train of thought of you at Soccer Locker, just take us back. How it all started for you here in this business, because you now have a pretty hands-on role here. You're not just the face and the poster boy. Now you're doing a lot of the nitty-gritty stuff too.
Definitely.
So take us back to the start.
I've known Jamie Goodhue, the owner. I've known him for quite a number of years. He was kind enough to look after sponsoring me with some gloves back when I first started down at South Adelaide Panthers. So we go back quite a number of years. He's always been a supporter of mine in my football, so I'm blessed to now come on board and work in the business. It's coming up 2 years now I've been here, which is exciting. So I come from a retail background, so because I've played in the league such a long time, soccer's my forte, and being a part of the #1 soccer store in SA, I mean, it doesn't get better than that, does it?
No, it does not, and you certainly make the best use of that on your socials when you're keeping us all updated on what you're getting up to.
Definitely.
Now, let's talk about the football. Last weekend we had Brisbane Roar visit. Nikola Miljuznic came back home.
He did.
Which was a bit of a storyline. Now, back in the Biograda days, you played alongside Nikola.
Did, mate. We played some junior football together, the old Frank Mitchell Park. And I always had an inkling, that he'd be something as a footballer from very young, from under 10s, whatever it was that we played. And I mean, look, he came back, and look, he was a bit quiet, I have to admit, against United. I expected to see him pop up and maybe a goal or a couple of assists, but I think us at home, we're trying to make it a fortress at Hindmarsh. So, it was good to see him back. I know it probably would have been a bit emotional for him too, because he spent a few years here under United. So
a good tenure.
He did, mate, and he scored some unbelievable goals. That volley from the sideline, I remember that clearly. I don't even know if he was shooting, but anyway.
I was about to say, I'm not going to go out and say that they were all intentional. But we'll give him the benefit of the doubt.
Definitely.
Now, he actually copped some boos when he came on, Costa, which
Yeah.
was maybe a bit disappointing.
I think so, a little bit. I mean, look, I know there's football banter, and you always you sort of get onto the player returning, but I think he was a great servant to the club.
Yeah,
so
no doubt.
to see that he got a couple of boos was a little bit disappointing. But look, I think it's all in good faith in football and stuff. So I'm sure he wouldn't have taken it personally. But
Absolutely. Now we comprehensively outplayed Brisbane. I think, aside from parts of that second half where we probably took the foot off the pedal a little bit, but the kids stepping up, Costa, it's pretty amazing to see. I mean, when's it going to end? This production line is insane that we have here.
I think hats off to Carl and the coaching team at United, giving these young boys, Irakunda, even Assad, Kasumovic. I don't think he was involved against Brisbane, but he's been given an opportunity lately. I played with him at West Adelaide days, and these young kids, I feel for Toure. I know he's out for this year now with his shoulder, which is disappointing because I thought he was coming into the team and doing a job as well. It's great to see that someone's given these kids an opportunity. SA football, there's such talent here. So to see him coming through the ranks, even watching the NPL side too, fantastic potential there too. So, mate, I think keep going. Carl's doing a great job with the youth, and bring them up. Look, Gouchy in goals. Young Stevie Hall, he's been given a couple of opportunities. He's 16 years old as a goalkeeper. I mean, I think it's just great that these kids are getting opportunities. Me growing up through football in goalkeeping terms, I was sitting behind the 30, 35-year-old keepers. So now that the teams and clubs are giving these kids an opportunity, unbelievable.
So obviously you do have a goalkeeping background, and we'll get on to this. But why don't you tell us about what you've made of, ever since we lost a great set of goalkeepers, your Poizos, even your Birigidis going back, your Eugene Galek, which is retiring. Suddenly out of nowhere, we've got this crop of keepers who almost are taking games off each other when they're both fit and at their best in Gouchy and also Delianov. But you just mentioned Hall there too. I mean, is there something in the water here in SA?
I think it is. It must be the water. I think because you look at the composure and the on the ball, just class. And these are young kids. Gouchy, I think for a good 3 or 4 weeks was getting man of the match. So I think the crop of goalkeepers is amazing. And look, they're obviously proving a point. As well, being able to not only step up to that level at an A-League capacity, but I think there's a lot of boys coming through the ranks too. In the NPL and even in the state setup who you know, we've just abundance of young keepers, which is great. So it's
fantastic, absolutely fantastic.
Good to see.
Now the game today is against Western United. They've had a very good season, and not many people are giving them credit. To be fair, John Aloisi, the SA boy, the manager there, has really done a fantastic job in terms of what's going on the field. We know they still have their issues off the field, of course, with the stadium and all the lingering problems that they seem to have there. But promotionally, they're not really getting the publicity you would think a club that's, you know, in a position to finish in the top 2 would be getting, especially from where they came from. So they're a formidable opposition today.
Definitely are. Look, I think being consistent is so important in the A-League as well, and they've been consistent. Sitting second, I'm pretty sure as well, aren't they? Or they
third at the moment.
Third at the moment. So, I mean, it'll be a tough game. You know, I think we get a good crowd there. I think we've got a good opportunity to make something happen. I think the boys up front seem to be doing a job at the moment. They're finding the back of the net, which is nice. All round, I mean, the kids are coming through. Defensively, I think, you know, young Popovich as well.
Been fantastic.
Mate, you know, stepping in, he's 17, 18. You know, I've had a little bit of a stint with him as well in junior days, playing against him, which was great. So, but I think if we score early, you know, and maybe keep the pressure on the throat, you know, leading into the second half, I think we've got a good chance of getting the result, to be honest with you.
So, from a goalkeeper perspective, when you look at centre-backs and ones that have just come in without much being known about them, if no one's noticing them, does that indicate that they're doing a good job?
Look, as a goalkeeper, you know, when you're not touching the ball and having to make saves because your defence are doing the right thing, you know, that just says it all, I think. So look, the young boys have come in and done a job, you know, and it's great to see. And look, if they, you know, I guess, you know, when you're talking about possession and stuff, if we're keeping it in their side of the field, you know, it's great. But I think defensively we're dealing with things. Crosses, we seem to be dealing with great as well, which is really good to see. So, mate, hats off to the back line at the moment. I think it's great.
So, Costa, Western United, as we've been talking about, they're the opponents today. In your view, considering the approach we took against Brisbane Roar, which was to start really aggressively, went 2-0 up, and then we kind of just rested on our laurels from that point, should that be the approach you're getting against Western United? Because we know they're a better team, they've got better players, they're in better form, and they've got a lot to play for. So just firstly, give us your thoughts on that, the approach from United going into this game.
I feel, because Western, from what I've seen as well, attacking wise, the Diamante sitting up there too. I mean, he's just a class footballer. He can make things happen like that. So I feel if we score early, I feel like, you know, probably in the first half anyway, to try and capitalise on that a couple more times. I reckon if we can bang a couple more away. I think, you know, the second half, that transition, you know, defensively we're pretty strong. You know, with those, I was talking before about those young lads coming in doing a job. I think if we can hold that score, I think we just got to be mindful that they've got a lot better attacking players. I think, you know, from statistic wise anyway, from what I've seen. So I think, can we sit back? We probably can. Is it the best thing to do? I don't know. It's a hard question to answer. But I think if we score early, I think we've got the class and the experience. We do have the experience now because these young boys have been playing for the last couple of weeks to hold that game, I think.
Okay, so going into this game, Western United, if they win, there's still a chance at finishing in the top 2.
Yes.
If we win, we cement top 4. So there's a lot riding on this game, and what's even more interesting is when you look at the head-to-head, people won't believe this, but of the 5 games played in the entire history that Western United have been in the competition against Adelaide United have only won once, and that was never at home. We haven't beaten them at Cooper Stadium. They've won twice, so maybe even 3 times actually.
Yeah, right. I mean, statistic, you know, they talk. So I mean, look, I think the last game of the season, there's so much to play for from both sides. We're at home. I think with that, because we'll get a good crowd, you know, so I feel like we can make something happen. It'll be hard, I think, to hold them off. But we've got the class and the experience to do it, I think. So score early, we'll be right.
All right. Well, I'm going to ask you for a prediction. Of course. How does this one pan out?
Mate, we are going to win that game. I've got a feeling that Goodwin's going to be unbelievable, I think. I reckon we'll win that game 3-1. That's what I'm saying.
All right, I'm going to hold you to it.
All right.
Let's hope. Now, before we go, let's discuss you. So obviously, Costa, the goalkeeper. We'll get to the, if you're happy to tell it on camera, we'll get to the most recent developments in a little bit, but why don't we start from the top? So, obviously you've been playing the game for the best part of your life.
Yes.
So, take us right back to the beginning, the clubs you've played for, the best memories at those clubs. You played with some very recognisable South Australian names.
Yes.
So take us all the way back. And let's hear a bit about Costa Zacharopoulos' goalkeeping story.
Wow, pressure. Look, I've been blessed with a lot of opportunities in SA football. So starting sort of, I guess, a career, if you're going to call it that, all my junior football started.
Most definitely a career.
Yes, thank you. I appreciate that. I try and be humble about it, but I've been blessed with a lot of opportunities, so it's been good. Starting wise, I started my junior football with White City Belgrade. I was there 10 years, so I was there a good part of my footballing career. Enjoyed it there, debuted at White City. I was 17. This was under Adrian Sandtrack at the time, who's a well-recognised coach.
Adelaide United, W League coach.
Correct. So I got the opportunity to have a couple of games under him. I spent a good amount of time with Anthony Stam, who, if people don't know, was probably one of the best goalkeepers of that era, I think. I got to learn from him, which was fantastic. I didn't get as many games as I thought I would, being that I was, reserved to a great goalkeeper. So from White City, I actually took a break from Federation and I played amateurs. I played amateurs for Pontian Eagles. Spent 2 seasons.
Very proud club.
Yes, they are. Back then too, they were a formidable Div 1 side. So I had the opportunity to play under George Cargiotis, Cards as he's affectionately known as, who's a Pontian legend. So played there for 2 seasons. I did have a stint, at West Adelaide in my junior. So from Pontians I went to West Adelaide under Ross Aloisi. Legend of United. Legend of Adelaide United. So that was great. I got to learn from him and love the passion he brings, and you can flick very easily to the angry Ross, which I love, which is all passion. So
you know what I love? Can I just hold you there for a second?
Of course.
These kinds of storylines, if you like, that come up, it's unique to South Australia in that there you are playing on local pitches, being coached by Ross Aloisi. Fast forward 10, 12 years, and he's the assistant coach of a J-League powerhouse club, owned by the richest football ownership consortium in the world. I mean, I swear it only happens in SA.
It does, things. Mate. I mean, hats off to him where he's gone. I mean, coming back to United as well, and what he did with Carl there, mate. I mean, hats off to Ross. And I was lucky enough to play under him, and the disappointing thing for me was when I was there that year with Ross, I left West Adelaide because I ended up sitting behind Lewis Moss, who legend, one of the best goalkeepers.
Fantastic goalkeeper. One
of the best. So I have to give him a plug because I'm good mates with him and great goalkeeper. So to be sitting on the bench under him, it's not to shy away from him. Great goalkeeper. So
nearly knocked us out of the FA Cup.
He did, mate. I tell you, mate, absolute class. So I actually from West Adelaide under Ross, I left and I went to South Adelaide, which was a big change for me. Played under Steve Kitchen, who's a legend of the game, and a couple of coaches.
Renowned Southern Suburbs coach, isn't he?
Correct. He is, and he won a couple of Coach of the Year awards as well. I played under him for a couple of seasons, which was great. While I was at South Adelaide, I won the Charlie Caruso Reserve Player of the Year. So that's an accolade that I'm pretty proud of.
As you should be.
Which was, as a goalkeeper, getting sort of recognised. We don't get recognised a lot of the time. So that was really nice.
You guys have to play out of your skin to get recognition.
We can make 10, 15 saves in a game and we let one in, and that's all. And anyone remembers,
exactly
which is unfortunate. That comes with the job.
Yeah.
So from South, signed at Polonia.
Okay.
Croydon, with rich history. What a club.
Absolutely.
I was blessed. Under Mark Brazzali, won a couple of championships there.
What a time that was around sort of 2012 to 14, 15, was it?
It was, from 2014 up to 2017. I was, mate, just blessed, you know, playing under Nick Munro. Yep. Nick Munro's an Australian representative. He's played for Australia, so you know, being back up to him, you know, was pretty cool. You know, you learned a lot of things from them. We had some great keeper coaches as well at Croydon. I was very lucky. You know, I got to play in a grand final, which you never think as a player, as a reserve goalkeeper, you never think that you're going to play at that level and, you know, in such an important game. But got to come on and play at Hindmarsh Stadium.
Wasn't right place, right time, mate. It was fate.
It was fate. I'll take that definitely. But what a great couple of years I spent there. Had all the opportunities to be successful there as well, which was fantastic. So I thank Croydon for that too. You know, there'll be memories that I'll remember for the rest of my life. So from there, I signed for South Adelaide again. So I went back to South Adelaide in the NPL, which for me was
locking up some cases.
Oh well, you know, look, I was very blessed to get some game time. To be honest, at NPL level too. So played at South, signed 2018 under Benny Dale, legend as well.
Absolutely, lovely guy too.
Oh, best person, mate, and just such a good person to talk football as well. So spent 2 years at South Adelaide, 2018-2019 in the NPL, which was great for me. So South Adelaide, spent a couple of seasons there, fantastic. Got to play NPL football, so blessed as well. From there, I took a step back and signed for Monterey Vista. No, sorry. I went back to West Adelaide.
Yes, you did.
Sorry, mate. I'm a bit.
We missed out an entire West Adelaide chapter.
What's going on? Went back to West Adelaide 2020 under Vas Bartas, who's legend as well. Massive Campbelltown legend, and West Adelaide as well. So spent a couple of seasons there under Louis Moss. So didn't get too much game time, but had an opportunity to play a few games, which was great. Got to play actually against South Adelaide when I was playing for West Adelaide, and had a blinder against them, which was fantastic. So I was very happy about that. It was always nice to go to your old club and play well, but you know, there's that mutual respect, which is great. So from West Adelaide, I went to Monterey Vista under Benny Dale, brought me over, which was great. Left West Adelaide to go to Monterey Vista. Spent a couple of seasons there as well, playing State League 2, which I enjoyed. Brand new facilities under Monterey 2, fantastic. And it's a club that's only getting bigger as well in the northern suburbs. So
good catchment area.
Oh yeah, fantastic. So from there, now this is the news we were talking about before. So I've just recently retired from Federation football, which, look, you know, we're still young as a goalkeeper. Still got a few years left in me. I know I know you're a bit, you know, iffy about my decision, which is fine. But I'm going to enjoy amateurs now.
Yeah, good on you, Costa.
Which is great, and coach, which is important.
Absolutely.
Giving back to the clubs that have given so much to me. Giving back to kids. We've got so many young goalkeepers coming through. We've got to get them, you know, in the right training and have the right mentors. So I'm looking forward to that.
And I think you would say, ideally, if you can manage a dual sort of playing and coaching tenure, which could be a door opening for a very long period of sustained success as a coach. We're in short supply of good goalkeeper coaches, aren't we?
You're exactly right, mate. There's not enough. There's either people that have stepped away from the game, or there's just no time to do it with other commitments and that kind of thing. So taking a step away from Federation gives me that time, and I'm looking forward to it, mate. I'm doing a bit of coaching now, which is great, and I love it. Love it.
Next, Peter Blazincic.
Oh, mate, I hope so. I hope Peter Blazincic, Eugene, you know, I know you can maybe, get me a gig down with Eugene. That'd be nice. So Eugene, if you're watching, mate, I'd love to be able to work with you. So, yeah.
Fantastic stuff. Costa, let's hope for a win today. Before we go, these jackets here in particular, these ones here, just hung food the side. These ones here in particular for $25.
Mate.
They are an absolute steal.
Look at that.
We've been trying to fend people off with a stick whilst the camera's been on, because you're getting in our angles. But
we have.
There's so much to come over here and inspect. So get into Soccer Locker here at Findon. Come in and meet the guys here, Costa and Jamie, who do a fantastic job of sticking up for the game from a commercial point of view here in South Australia, and the fantastic label that they run here. It's a great business. Thanks for having us in again, Costa.
Always a pleasure, my man.
Take it easy. Before we go,
yes, sir.
Just want to give a quick shout out to Costa Mantis, good friend of mine. He's a local boy. You can buy his Pega gear here at Soccer Locker as well. Check out the Pega stock that they're selling here too. Only because Costa's a South Australian, and doesn't that show you everything about the philosophy of Soccer Locker? It's to preserve South Australian interests in the game.
Correct.
And we love coming in here. So thank you very much for having us, Costa.
Pleasure.
Up the Reds. And,
Up the Reds.
And we'll see you at Soccer Locker, guys. Take it easy.
See you guys.
Standing here with Maxima's big Adelaide United fan. Maxima, here we are at Soccer Locker. You're all decked out, ready for tomorrow's game. Tell us what you've made of the season so far.
I think it's been pretty good.
Yeah?
I've went to a couple of games. Adelaide United have been playing really well lately.
Who's impressed you the most?
Irakunda.
Yeah.
I think that's his name. I think he's like 15. Really
He's
good.
3 years older than you are. That must get you excited, right?
Yeah, he's played really good.
Yep.
I think he's going to be really good like in the future.
Yep.
Playing a really big league.
Okay. And what else have you made about the way that, you know, we've had a pretty inconsistent year, but here we are now in finals, we've bounced back, and we're in a really good position. If we win tomorrow, then who knows, because we've got a home final if we win tomorrow, and then anything can happen in finals, so that must make you exciting as well.
Yeah, it does make me excited. Also, I'm pretty sure Adelaide United's like 4th on the table right now. Maybe if they can score a few more points to get like top 3,
Yep.
probably be really good for the club too.
Absolutely.
Because top 3 is like the top. Like you just want to aim for top 3, not 4.
And tell us how long you've been going to games for.
I haven't been going to games for a long time. I went, I think the first time I went to a game was February this year.
Yep.
And I really enjoyed it. And me and my dad have been going even more.
Beautiful. And you made it a regular thing now.
Yeah.
Good man. Now we've got so much good Adelaide United stock here in the store. I see you're already decked out with this season's home kit, but surely you're going to come back in here and buy some of this stuff, because you're not going to get better prices than this here for Adelaide, official Adelaide United gear.
Yeah, I actually bought this like a while back.
Oh, did you really?
Yeah, I really liked the jumper.
Wow. Well, we love to hear that here at Soccer Locker. Maxima, thanks so much for speaking to us. Enjoy the game tomorrow.
Yeah, thanks.